So Ukraine is well prepared. Their volunteers are training hard. Their arsenal is well stocked. If war breaks out, Ukraine is not backing down. Having said that, the focus is still on diplomacy, resolving this crisis without guns. World leaders are shuttling between capitals as we speak. Emmanuel Macron, like we told you, is in Moscow. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz is visiting Washington, D.C. After meeting President Biden, Scholz will also travel to Moscow and Kyiv. Clearly, European leaders are working overtime, but Macron and Scholz have different missions. Scholz is looking for an image makeover. He is facing the heat at home in Berlin. Some Germans are calling him the invisible chancellor. So Scholz wants to show that he is a team player and that he's 100% committed.
Wir sind sehr konkret übrigens auch in dem, was wir tun.
We are very concrete, by the way, also in what we do for defense in NATO, in Europe, in the European Union, in continental Europe. We are the country with the highest defense contribution. Nobody should overlook that. In recent years, we have massively expanded the capabilities of the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Germany.
Und wir werden in dieser Haltung weitermachen.
Macron is not seeking an image makeover. He is seeking a publicity boost. The French president loves to play the consummate diplomat. He's done that in Western Africa, he's done that in Lebanon, and now he hopes to do it in Russia. Macron hopes that he can convince Vladimir Putin to de-escalate, but it's a risky mission, and if it fails, it is going to be a major embarrassment in an election year. If he succeeds, though, it could get him re-elected in the month of April, so it's a high-stakes mission for the President of France. How does the Kremlin perceive this visit, though? With caution. Moscow welcomed Macron's attempts to broker peace, but like most of us covering this visit, they're not expecting any breakthrough. At most, there could be a delay. In fact, that is Macron's backup plan. If an outright resolution is not possible, then buy time. But his partners across the Atlantic are more bearish. I'm talking about the United States of America. American officials have released a new assessment of the situation, and it's bad news for Ukraine. US officials say that Russia has mobilized 70% of its troops. What does that mean? You see, for any invasion, you need adequate military resources, say X number of soldiers, Y number of tanks. Around 70% of that deployment on the Russian side is complete. What will happen if Putin invades in February? US intel reports say that Ukraine will fall, that the city of Kyiv, this city, could be captured in 48 to 72 hours, and around 50,000 civilians could die. That is the American assessment. Now, just to be clear, this is what the Americans are saying. But if you ask the Ukrainians, it's all baseless doomsday predictions. Here's what their foreign minister tweeted. Do not believe in the apocalyptic predictions. Today, Ukraine has a strong army, unprecedented international support, and Ukrainians' is faith in their country. It's all propaganda. America wants to keep the NATO alert. Ukraine wants to keep the morale high. But all sides agree on one thing. Preparation is key. Well, here's how Russia is preparing, with massive military drills in Belarus. They're flying long-range nuclear bombers. They have brought the Sukhoi ground attack jets. Overseeing all of this is the Russian defense minister, Vladimir Putin's right-hand man. In the Western camp, America is also making moves. Their elite soldiers have arrived in Poland. We are talking about 1,700 of them, and leading them is a special commander, Major General Christopher Donahue. Does the name sound familiar? Well, it should, because Donahue was the last US soldier to be evacuated from Afghanistan, and that pretty much sums up NATO policy. A lot of symbolism, but little substance. Right now, 4 foreign ministers are in Kiev: the German, the Czech, the Slovak, and the Austrian foreign ministers. It's a morale booster for Ukraine. But morale does not fire missiles. It cannot win you wars, not alone. Last-minute military shipments may not be enough to defend Ukraine. Most intel reports corroborate this, that Ukraine will be overwhelmed, overpowered, but invading and occupying are two different things. Ask George Bush. Putin will face a full-fledged insurgency if he invades Ukraine, and that is keeping his fingers away from the red button. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.